Welcome back, Lux Lifestylers, to another inspiring video to help you catch a vision, an idea about what you're going to do with your millions or billions when you make it big. Today we're going to talk about Dubai's desert island projects and what you need to know before you hit the scene with your newfound riches. Dubai has evolved from a little desert community over the last few decades, becoming one of the world's most advanced cities. However, with the advent of the world's largest man-made islands, Dubai's coastline has become just as fascinating. Some of these man-made islands are large enough to be visible from space. But how did these islands come to be? Are there plans for other islands? And how will they avoid being destroyed and eroded by the tides? Before we continue, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss inspiring videos to help you get a vision for your life as a millionaire or billionaire soon. If you'd want to visit Dubai and its islands, let us know in the comments below why. Okay, let's see what makes these islands so special. The concept of man-made islands isn't new to the planet. Ancient Egyptians exploited reclaimed lands to settle populations around 5,000 years ago. Aztecs utilized man-made islands known as Chinampas, or floating gardens, to grow their harvests without hurting the environment in the 15th century. The creation of modern man-made islands began in the early 20th century with the completion of Seattle's Harbor Island in 1909, which was the world's largest man-made island at the time. Many other ventures such as Treasure Island in San Francisco Bay followed. Countries such as the Netherlands and Japan have recently built massive airports or even entire towns on artificial islands. Dubai took on possibly the most ambitious endeavor to develop artificial islands in the late 20th century. In the late 1990s, the government of the United Arab Emirates began a campaign to diversify the country's economy, slowly moving away from its oil riches to attract more tourists. Over the previous 30 years, the city has seen a dramatic development. Dubai is currently home to some of the most recognized tourist sites in the world, from the world's tallest skyscraper, the Burj Khalifa, to the world's most luxurious 7-star hotel, the Burj Al Arab. Apart from all of these attractions, they had the brilliant notion of expanding the thriving tourism sector to the seas. As a result, the Palm Islands plan were launched, a group of 3 man-made islands that are large enough to be seen from outer space. The first cluster of the Palm Jumeirah began development in 2001. They planned to make these islands entirely out of rocks and sand, unlike most other man-built islands, which are made of metal and concrete. The sand for this island was excavated from the bottom of the Persian Gulf, even though the desert emirate is surrounded by billions of tons of sand. This was necessary because the desert sand was not suitable for grain size and composition. Using GPS satellites, the ships were able to spray the dredging sand at precise spots, forming the island's palm tree shape. However, constructing anything this large in the ocean without the use of concrete and steel to keep it in place is a major undertaking. So how did they ensure that the sand remained in place? Around the gigantic palm tree, a breakwater crescent made primarily of rocks from the adjacent HAJAR mountains was erected. Furthermore, they vibrated the sand with massive machines so that it would solidify and not give away later, a process that takes decades in nature. In total, enough sand and stones were used for the Palm Jumeirah to form a 2-meter wide wall that circled the globe 3 times at an estimated cost of $12 billion. It is Dubai's most expensive project, having launched in November 2008 with a $40 million opening ceremony. And of course, the show included the world's largest fireworks display for that time. It is now Dubai's only completed island with a population of over 10,000 people and a length of 80 kilometers. It also extends the city's present coastline by a factor of 2. While the Palm Jumeirah is performing well, other larger projects have been halted as a result of economic uncertainty that has plagued the United Arab Emirates and Dubai since the 2008 global crisis. Palm Jebel Ali is one of those stalled islands. They started building the Palm Jebel Ali in 2002, The island was built with nearly 200 million cubic meters of rock and sand, making it 50% larger than the Palm Jumeirah. After the land reclamation operation was completed in 2007, 30,000 tons of rock were carried on trucks from all across the United Arab Emirates to the building site per day. The intention was to construct infrastructure for these islands. However, the project was severely set back by the financial crisis of 2008. Property values plummeted by up to 40%, and infrastructural plans for the Jebel Ali were halted. In 2011, the developer ended up giving money back to certain investors. In recent years, there's been a little bit of progress here and there at the site. Key developers in the project maintain that the project is still very much alive and moving forward. Another island project that has been halted is the Palm Deira, which was unveiled in 2004 with an extremely lofty goal to build it at least 10 times larger than the Palm Jumeirah. 1 billion cubic meters of sand needed to be dredged to make this project a reality, which is roughly the same volume as some lakes in Switzerland. This is 5 times greater than the Palm Jebel Ali project, which they had constructed 20% of by 2007. However, similar to the Palm Jebel Ali, construction on the project was halted in 2008 because of the housing market meltdown in Dubai. Temporarily, the developers devised a new strategy to save money and time. The Deira Island project was rebranded, and it would consist of 4 smaller islands with a smaller sand volume and rock footprint, but a larger land area. The amended plans were released in 2013, and the land reclamation project is now complete. In 2016, the first of 4 islands was connected to the city via a 5-lane bridge. Deira Islands opened to visitors in December 2020. In 2021, a 1.8 mile or 1.9 kilometer long night market billed as the world's largest night market opened. But that is not the end of it yet. The World's Island project, which was supposed to be a collection of 300 miniature islands based on the world map and put at a distance of 100 meters away from each other, was started in 2003. The massive project adds over 232 kilometers of new beachfront to Dubai's shoreline, with each island's name and acreage depending on the country it represents, which is more than 3 times the initial shoreline of the Dubai. 60% of the islands were sold to private contractors in 2008. However, due to the global recession, most of these islands have yet to be built. By 2013, just 2 of the 300 islands, Lebanon and Greenland, had been finished. The World's Islands project was renewed when the Kleindienst Group began building the $5 billion Heart of Europe project, which contains 6 islands that provide visitors with a world-class European experience, including the islands of Sweden, Germany, Venice, and Switzerland. The project also includes a heart-shaped island inspired by the Maldives, which will provide couples with the world's most luxurious honeymoon resort. The project's first phase is complete, and the first residents in December 2020 have been able to move in. Bonus, Dubai has more goodies for you. In 2008, the Universe, a solar system themed island, was announced, and it was meant to be modeled on the outlines of the stars, moon, and Milky Way galaxy. However, the project was put on hold in 2009, and the developer's website was eventually removed. While the Universe never materialized, the recent success of the Bluewaters Island demonstrates the tourist potential of Dubai's man-made islands. Construction on the island of Bluewaters began in 2013. Costs have risen to $2 billion. The 210-meter tall Ain Dubai, or Dubai Eye, the world's tallest Ferris wheel, is the development's focal point. The islands initially opened to the public in 2018 and had over 3 million visits in its first year. Dubai's man-made islands have given the rich and wealthy an avenue to participate in luxury and opulence while in the middle of the desert surrounded by sand. However, the island's pioneering real estate initiatives have run into numerous challenges. In 2009, the Palm Jumeirah was said to be sinking at a rate of 0.5 centimeters each year. The developer of the project refuted these statements, stating that they were actively working with their team of engineers to eliminate the sea's dangers. Despite the attempts, several studies have indicated that when the sea level rises, these developments will be entirely covered in water. Another major obstacle for mega projects in the future decades will be diminishing demand in the property market and volatile oil prices. Significant construction delays were noticed following the 2008 financial crisis, and the ongoing impact of the COVID-19 pandemic could stop these projects altogether for good. Because of the economic slump, several of the islands are still looking for investors to meet the real estate needs of these ambitious projects. The islands have also been frowned upon for their environmental impact. The use of modern infrastructure to recover land has created an ecological challenge. According to some studies, the development of man-made islands has damaged Dubai's coastline soil and resulted in other long-term environmental difficulties. In the face of increasing problems, Dubai is relying on contemporary technology to offset the consequences on the environment and is pressing ahead with its plans. The developers are hopeful that the projects will overcome the obstacles set before them and boost the economy of the UAE by setting up Dubai as the world's most popular tourism destination. How do you feel about Dubai's man-made islands? Would you like to pay them a visit? Leave us a comment below about what island you'd like to visit and see. If you like this video, check out one of the other ones on screen so you can catch a vision of your life on the travel scene as a new millionaire or billionaire. And we'll see you in the next video, Lux Lifestylers. Ciao.